I pulled this redemption. It's a dual auto, Jane Daniels and Bo Nix out of 5. I'm just wondering, what's the best place I could sell it, or like how much you think it would be worth?
I was just calling in just to ask,
Yeah, go for it.
the like if the Gridiron Marvels series is like cards that you should be looking for a raw to send in to get graded.
Do you think it'd be better to like take risks with like older cards to grade, like just say like a LeBron rookie card, or do you think it's a bit like with better margins, or do you think it's better to like buy newer cards like the modern stuff, 2024, with like lower margins?
We're live for episode number 62 of the Eric Michael Show, where I'm speaking right now, and it's the beginning of June, and it's a wonderful time to start buying and selling sports cards. So we have the National Card Show coming up at the end of July, or early August, end of July, which I'll talk about here in a second. We have football really getting underway, which is exciting. We have basketball ending. My Knicks sadly just lost to the Pacers. That was really disappointing. I really thought they would beat the Pacers, but I know this NBA Finals is about to start. Am I crazy, or the Pacers are plus 500? So you're getting 5-1 on your money. If you put $1 down, you get $5 if they win the finals. Do they not have more guys than OKC? OKC scorer, right, is obviously Shea, and like Chet is okay, and Jalen Williams is decent. But the Pacers they don't have the best guy, but they have more guys. Like their whole team is scores. Like I'm taking Miles Turner over Chet Holmgren. You have Nemhard who will knock down any open three. You have Neesmith, Halliburton. Why is this series not going to go 6 or 7? I think plus 500 is a really good bet. Maybe I'm saying that because I'm butthurt because I beat the Knicks, but I don't know. But I think that's a great bet personally. Like, I don't know. I think it's crazy that 5-1 on your money. Who's taking OKC plus 700? I know OKC has home court advantage, but sheesh, that's so much. But anyways, let's hop over to my screen here and start looking at some sports cards, what I'm looking to buy, what I'm looking to sell. If you guys have any questions, I'll be taking some callers in a few minutes. That number down there on the bottom left, feel free to call in. And let's look at some stuff here. So let me share my screen here and show you some stuff. So let's go to Only Alt first. So check this out. So let's see what's ending. So it's an interesting time. So if we go to market movers over here, like what I want to do, so like for example, like CJ Stroud is someone who I've bought a little bit of. And what I want to do, so if you look at his Prism Silver PSA 10, right, over the past like 100 or 365 days, right? So this is why June is weird, right? So you have his cards were really high. The season starts, it goes down in value, and this is like the dead of the offseason, right? You have like February, January, and his Silver Prism PSA 10 was like $380, right? Almost $400. And now the card is like $450. So if you bought this card here in the offseason and you just held it a little bit, you would have made, what is that, maybe 15-20% on your money. So I like to buy it while it's dead in the offseason. And now we're getting kind of too close to the season. Like I like to buy it when it's at its absolute lowest. Okay. So like, and I'm talking about when really like buying cards already graded, like buying cards to grade. You could do that at any point. Like you don't need the card to really appreciate in value. You really just need the card to get a PSA 10. So I'm kind of like holding off from buying more expensive football for that reason. Like someone else, I'm just actually looking at this out of curiosity. So I think I have a decent amount of money invested in Sam Darnold, but his Silver Prism PSA 10 doesn't sell that often. So this is not a good indicator of his market. So I wonder if we look at Sam Darnold. I'm just looking at this just to be selfish with my time here because I'm just curious. I'm just curious if let's see, are there any recent sales? His XRC PSA 10, there's just not a lot of sales of this stuff. So I'm just not sure if it's like going up or not. Yeah, not a lot of sales of Sam Darnold, but hopefully I make some decent money on him. But with that said, so like this is Only Alt, and like I use this as an indicator to see like what expensive cards are selling. Sometimes I buy cards off of here, and like I'm hesitant to buy basketball, right? So now we're in the like dead of the offseason with basketball, and the problem is there's just not like a lot of new exciting guys. Like, can you even name guys from the rookie class of last year? Like, not really, right? There's just not a lot of new and excitement. A lot of these cards that are ending, right? Jalen Brunson, obviously, he had a really good playoffs, even though the Knicks went down. We have Shea Gilgeous Alexander. There's a lot of him ending. for obvious reasons because he's in the finals. But it's tough. It's tough, like with basketball. This is the problem. Like buying cards to grade, yes, that's really good. But buying cards already graded and just holding them, like maybe LaMelo's not a bad buy. Like, let's take a look at like LaMelo Ball's market. I made some money on him last year. His stuff popped up a decent amount. Take a look at LaMelo. So if you look at his 108 or has 365 days, you could see like this was the off season last year, right? And right before the season, his stuff started to go up, right here, right? You could have bought this card for 260, and as the season was starting last year, right around here, it was like 350. So, and you can see now it's down, right? And if you look in the past 300 or past 30 days, you can see it's going downwards. So, if you want to get in on someone like LaMelo Ball, now is the time you buy it. Now is the time it'll probably be worth the least. Am I crazy about LaMelo Ball? No, because he's already been in the league for a few years. Like, you want to buy guys that could generate a lot of hype and excitement. Like, maybe another guys like Paolo Banchero. I mean, his stuff went up a lot last year, like a lot before the season at least. And then once the season started, it kind of maintained. So if you look at Paolo Banchero, you could see his stuff last year. If you bought it in the offseason, like towards the end of the season, you could see how low it was. Then he actually started to play well in the playoffs, and it kind of maintained that value, went down a little bit. But you could see his stuff, his like Silver Prism PSA 10 got all the way up to like 460, and now it's like 350. So yeah, like, I say this stuff because I'm not crazy on buying basketball. Like I like higher end basketball already graded. But with that said, let's take a look and see what is out there. Let's see what Prism NBA stuff is out there. So let's go to advanced. And if you go to advanced here and you go to, let's do like minimum price, let's do like $100, and let's do min bid count of 1. So it only shows us auctions with at least 1 bid. Let's see what's out there in the universe. I am not the expert when it comes to this year's basketball, by the way. So there's just not a lot of stuff ending. Yeah, there's just not a lot. I know Caitlin Clark stuff is going crazy. Let's just look at Prism 2024. And let's see. Do minimum price $100. Mid bid count 1. So there's some stuff ending here. You have a Silver Prism, Caleb Williams. So you can make bank off this stuff. Caitlin Clark stuff. I mean, this card won't grade, but check this out. This stuff is crazy. So they're kind of hard to grade, but Caitlin Clark Silver Prism. Check this out. So this card is like $167 raw, and as a PSA 10. Yeah, check this out. There we go. So Caitlin Clark, this blue line, dark blue line down here, this card raw is like 160, right? Ish. A PSA 10, there's 2 sales of 2,000 and 1,900. You're getting 10 times your money if you grade this card a PSA 10. Now, this card's not going to grade a 10 because this card's off center. I can see this top here is bigger than the bottom. But Caitlin Clark is a great opportunity to make money. You know, obviously, I'm making it sound a little bit easier than it actually is because you need to know what you're doing. But like the Silver Prisms, if you could 10 this stuff, I mean, you could just make bonkers money. It's like 5, 6, 7, 8 times your money, which is pretty crazy. This card actually doesn't look. Yeah, there's some whiting on this corner right here. Good 10 possibly, but I'm gonna stay away from it. It's not my vibe. Shy Gilgeous Alexander, Gold Laser. You know, I actually opened up some packs and boxes the other day, and I got a Gold Laser number to 10, but it was a Mikal Bridges. It would have been nice if it was not Mikal Bridges and somebody worth a little bit more money. You see this? I love XRC cards. I love these cards. The problem with them is sometimes you don't make enough money. So like when I'm buying a card, I want to at least double my money if the card gets a 10. But a lot of times this XRC stuff, I don't know why, but you just don't double your money. So like if you look at recent sales here, you can see. So this card, a PSA 9 is 420, and a PSA 10 is like actually, I'm a liar. This card, you will over double your money for sure. See what this card looks like. So, oh, there's a mark on the card here. I think that's why he's showing a picture right here. Yeah, nice card. But yeah, those cards are hard to grade. I'm actually a decent fan of. If I were to buy one guy, Jared McCain, I'm a pretty decent fan of. I think his stuff will go up a lot. Like he was hurt, kind of down, but I think it has potential to go up a decent amount. This is his blue ice. These cards sell for bonkers money. Like people love them. Card is in near mint condition. That's not a good sign. Let's see. Let's see if this person. I want to look if he grades cards. So you can clearly see this person does not grade cards. It's very obvious. Take a look here. Let's do McCain Blue Ice Prism 2024. So this card is a 9, sells for like 215, 185 raw, 187, 178. So this card's like 180 raw. Now it looks decent, but I don't like how he said here this card is in near mint condition. That's usually a sign that the card is not in great condition. I'll keep that there. I'll keep looking. See JJ McCarthy. I like McCarthy. I don't like him as a player, but I like his value to go up. This card, the corner right there is whiting just a little bit. Probably gonna stay away from that card for that reason alone. Red Prism Retail, Jaden Daniels. These cards are hard to get a 10 on. I wonder what stat right there. This card actually doesn't look that bad. It looks too good. The pictures are too good. Let's see here. I was reading comments the other day, and so I was complaining. So a lot of these cards I buy, like I actually bid on these auctions live as I'm doing this right now. And someone was commented, I bid 1 cent more than you. Because I'm not afraid to give away what I'm buying. I don't really care. Happy to help. So this person probably doesn't grade cards. This is an interesting card. This card is hard to grade. This is probably not going to get a 10. Especially there's some crap right there on the card. I wonder what that is. Oh, yep, there we go. What is that? Is that like a hole in the card? I don't think I can bid on it for that reason. Yeah, there's something weird there. I can't. The card is so good except for that. Let's see. Silver Prism, Caitlin Clark. Card's off-centered. You can see the top there is bigger than the bottom. No good for what I'm trying to do here. McCarthy, autograph, scope, number to 100. That's a clean corner. There's no whiting. A little off-center. That top's a little bit bigger than the bottom. The autograph is not great, but if I got this graded, I wouldn't grade the autograph. I'll just grade the card. You could choose to grade the autograph or not. And if the autograph gets a 10, it'll pop up in value as well. Let's take a look here and see. Any callers yet, Cobby? Why only check the bottom right? So with Prism, this bottom right corner is the one that is usually messed up. So these corners, so for some reason this one's usually not messed up. And a corner that's black, like this one, you can see it's black, is gonna chip easier because it's black, right? If the corner's white, like this one, if it chips, you can't see it. So, and they don't chip because they're white. But because if a corner is colored, it's much easier to see that chipping or whiting. So that's why I check this one and I check this one. These other corners are almost always good. I just give them a quick glance. And this one, right? This one's black. This one's black. This card actually looks really good. Let's take a look here and see. Scope, auto, McCarthy, Prism. So let's see. This did 570. These are best offers. Let's jump over to 130 points. So 130 point will actually tell you the real value. So like this sold for 570 or best offer, right? So you don't know what offer was actually accepted. But 130 point will tell you the offer that was actually accepted. So let's take or it usually will. This was actually sold for 570. You can see this one was 650 or best offer, but it actually sold for 535. 650, 480. So this card's worth like $500 and some change, probably, it seems like. 10 hours left at $355. So what I'll do is actually they changed it. Where's the eBay? Yeah, so the eBay item number's down here now. So what I'll do is copy it, go over to Easy Sniper, which is right here, and this will bid in the last possible second for me. So I'll bid. Let's take a look. Are there any graded ones? No graded ones. If it gets a 10, I'll definitely make a lot of money. No graded ones. I do know this card is numbered to 75 and it's sold for 1,800 as a 10. So this is numbered to 100. If it grades a 10, probably 14, 1,500 if I had to guess. I'll bid 512. That's where I'm comfortable. 5 invalid. What? Oh, I have to link my eBay account. Hold on a second. Let me do that. Let me create a link with my eBay account. 1 second here, people. Can't bid on the card without it. Let me just do that. Ha. Now we're back. Okay. Boom. All right, like I was doing. So where was I? Okay, eBay item number, copy. It should work now. 512. And boom. I don't know what the hell that is. But cool. Got one bid in. I think I'll probably gonna win this one unless one of you guys end up stealing it from me, which is totally reasonable and possible. I mean, I might do the same thing if I was watching this podcast, to be honest. It's a Deca purple, Caitlin Clark, orange ice. If you guys have any questions, feel free to call that number in the bottom left. I'll begin taking callers now. If you guys have any possible questions. Number to 99, Deca purple, Jaden Daniels. Let's look on 130 points. See. Is that a caller? Oh, no. And the callers are weird. Sometimes they come in like crazy. Sometimes they don't come in nearly as much. Let's see. So this card sells for like 376, PSA 8 to 290, 350 raw. This is gonna be a hard card to get a 10 on. You know what? I like it. Well, let me look at the sellers. Oh, this is a breaker. You can see Cajun breaker too. It probably breaks open packs and boxes. This is a good guy, right? A lot of these cards probably come from breaks, which means there's a higher chance they're clean. Let's see here. eBay item number. Let's copy this. I'll bid on this. I'll be cheap though. I'm not crazy about this card because it's like a variation. 312. Something about the number 12. I keep bidding on. So we got that. We got some decent stuff here. Bid on a few cards. I think I'm gonna win one of them. Beckett 9, Shea Prism. Okay, so I love to bid on these types of cards that are 9.5 everything, with 8.5 surface. This is weird. It's being sold via PSA, but it's in a Beckett holder. That's strange. That's really weird. These cards sell for $1,600. No way. Who is buying? I mean, obviously, I'm not going to buy it because I don't want to buy any Shea right now because it's in the middle of the finals. Wow. Not my type of card, but shit. That's impressive that card sells for that amount of money. That's crazy. That is wild. Wow. There's a lot of good stuff. Oh, this is a nice one. I love to buy. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll buy cards like this that are Beckett 9.5s and regrade them to PSA. But this has 9 corners, so that tells me the corners are probably not 100%. And PSA cares a lot about the corners. So yeah, you can see there's whiting right there. It's actually, I'm surprised it's got a Beckett 9.5, to be honest with you guys. All right, let's look at some questions here. So, first question from Tyler. Any advice? I've been sniping some football QB auctions and was going to list and flip for a small profit immediately. So you've been sniping some blah, blah, blah. But should I wait a couple months to potentially make the profit grow? So you've been sniping some QB auctions. So Tyler, just so you understand, I don't know if that's a good strategy, what you're saying, and maybe I don't fully understand it. So just buying an auction on eBay and then attempting to flip it right away, it's probably not a way to make money. There's only two ways I know how to consistently make money in sports cards. Number one, that's grading, right? So buying a card, getting it graded, and getting a 10, hopefully. And the other way is buying it and waiting a few months for it to go up 20, 30, 40%. Because if you buy it on eBay, let's say you buy a card for $100, you have to pay like sales tax on it. It's like 5%, 6%, 7%, whatever it is. You could actually omit that by getting a reseller's permit, which you could ask your accountant about. It's like probably like 150, $200. But then when you go to sell it, you have to incur a fee, right? So eBay is going to take a 13% fee. So in order to buy a card on eBay and flip it and make money, you have to at least be making a 13% margin to break even. So that's part of the reason I rarely sell cards on eBay, because it just makes it harder. I'll buy a lot of cards on eBay like you see me doing, but selling cards on eBay, probably not. I do everything I could to stay away from selling cards on eBay, because it's just hard, man. With the fee. It's just not an easy thing to do. We got another question from, don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry, but I'm trying to figure out why CJ Stroud has less value than Caleb Williams. Performance-wise, CJ has made playoffs in his rookie year versus Caleb not making it. Thank you. That's a good question. It's actually a really good question. So the simple answer is just hype. People get excited about hype and potential. And people think that Caleb Williams could possibly be the next Patrick Mahomes, even though, will it happen? Probably not. So it's just based on hype and excitement. So that's why, like, people kind of know what you're getting with CJ Stroud. And once that hype dies, their values come to what they actually should be worth. So Caleb Williams right now is inflated, but he'll probably have a good season, probably not a great season, probably not the season everyone expects him to have. And when that happens, his value will go down to what it should be. All these quarterbacks, their values are inflated. They're too high. That's why if I share my screen here and go to market movers. So if you look at any of these quarterbacks, like I don't know, like look at Bryce Young, right? So Bryce Young, let me get rid of this. So he was super inflated, everyone was like, whoop-de-doo, like he's going to be amazing. And then when the season started, it dipped. It actually came back up somehow, some way. I don't know how, but it did. But like once the season starts, it usually comes back, goes down to their value of what it should actually be worth based on their performance. This value up here is just hype and excitement. So like Jaden Daniels, for example, caller. Let me just finish my thought real quick. Call him back in a second. So like Jaden Daniels, I would bet you a good amount of money that this value of $1,200 is this card. I would guess, I'm just guessing here, this card you're looking at right now is Silver Prism PSA 10 that's worth $1,200. By October will be like $600 to $700. So hopefully that helps you out. Go for it. We have a caller coming in.
How's it going?
Hey, what's up? You got Eric? You're live.
Hey, it's Clayton.
What's up, Clayton? How can I help?
I just had a real quick question.
Yeah, go for it.
I pulled this redemption. It's a dual auto. Jane Daniels and Bo Nix out of 5.
Okay.
They told me it's going to take like 4 months in order to get the redemption back if I was to send it in. I'm just wondering, what's the best place I could sell it, or like how much you think it would be worth?
Are there any comps of it?
No, not really.
Wait, so what is it? It's a redemption. Say it one more time. Redemption.
It's the Tops Now rookie campaign, dual autograph
Of
Jane Daniels and Bo Nix.
Oh, it's a nice card. Did you pull that from a pack?
Yes, I did.
Jaden Daniels and Bo Nix. Okay, this is a guess. All right, keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I would think. Wait, is it numbered?
Number to 5, yes.
Oh, number 5. Oh shit. Oh man. $1,000 to $1,200. If I had to guess.
Okay.
Somewhere in that range. I would probably sell it now, especially because you're gonna get it back, and odds are probably both, but odds are both one of those two quarterbacks will be worth significantly less by the time you get it back. That's something I would definitely sell and not wait on.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Any other questions?
No, that's about it.
All right, cool. Yeah, something I would sell if
Appreciate
it
it.
was me.
All right.
All right,
Thanks.
cool. Yep, no problem. That was a quick one. Is there another one? All right, cool. We have some other questions here from Mark. Cards sold by PSA Vault, are they often overpriced? Selling a card I have, it's a PSA 10 Desmond Bain Blue Shimmer number 35 rookie card. They have it over $2,000, but I was thinking it's more like $400. It's not a liquid card. So you have this card, you could just tell them to auction it. I mean, yeah, just tell them to auction it. I mean, most cards are overpriced. It's not just PSA Vault. So yeah, you just tell them to auction it. And then Daniel says, what quarterbacks are you collecting this offseason? So, by the way, Megan, I see you said go Pacers. Damn you. But what quarterbacks are you collecting this offseason? So, well, the one I bought the most is probably Sam Darnold. So like Darnold, Stroud. I bought a big card of Brock Purdy. I bought a big card of not big, but like kind of big, $1,000 of Jordan Travis. He retired, so I will lose a lot of money on that. But those were the main guys. Jordan Love. I bought some Jordan Love. I thought Jordan Love was a good idea, but it's kind of less about the player and it's more about the card. So like the card I bought of Brock Purdy, it's behind me. You probably can't see it, but it's a Contenders Cracked Ice. And the reason I bought it is because it's a Contenders Cracked Ice. That type of card is extremely liquid and people love it. And if his value goes up at all, that card will be the first to go up in value. So that's why I bought it. Like Brock Purdy, I'm not too high on. He actually got the contract. So like, actually that's pretty good. I should probably sell it now. But yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. I'm actually looking now. Now that I'm talking out loud, I'm looking to see if Brock Purdy's value is up since he got that contract. I doubt it, but no, it's not up since he got the contract. People don't care. People kind of knew that contract was coming a little bit. So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. What other questions do you people have? I was in the program in the past. Love the program. Learned so much. Would you ever consider a subscription to the list of the cards to buy that go from $5 on up? No. We just hold that for people in the program. The AI list of cards. It would dilute it. We need to prioritize people in the program because that's our biggest concern. Because making that money, obviously grows our program with all the testimonials and reviews. Also, one last question. How do you comp a card with no last sales? I have a PSA 10, 1 out of 5 black gold Prism Pau Gasol. How would I value it? So I assume it's 2024 Prism talking about? I have no idea, but so I can just tell you what it's worth. If you're curious, I'll show you how I would do it. A card like that. So if you just look at Pau Gasol Prism, so you can see you have a black gold number to 5. His 101 sold for $1,600. His gold did 250. Yeah, his other gold did 128. Your black gold prism's probably worth like probably like 200 to 300, just depending on what buyers you have and who's willing to buy it. In that range, probably around 200 to 300 based on that. Brandon says, everyone talks about baseball. Everyone talks about football, but what baseball cards are you collecting? So I'm not buying any baseball right now, but you bring up a good point. Let's take a look at. I'll show you guys how to use market movers to a high degree right here. So check this out. All right. So if you guys don't know what this is an app where you can look at like data, trends, all that fun stuff. And if you go here to movement, check this out. So I just really follow the New York Mets. I don't follow baseball too high, like all the new guys. But what I like to do, if you go to baseball and you go to the past like few years, let's go to the past like 5 years, and you just sell them out like $100, and you do like a PSA 10 or like a Beckett 9.5, and then we go to Bowman Chrome. What I'm doing here is I want to see what guys are down in value since the season started. So If we go to baseball variation, players, that's good. Okay. So check this out. So we search for guys, and I want to see who's went down the most. So Ivan Herrera, these are all just random prospects like Marcelo Meyer, Paul Skeens. I don't really like buying a pitcher. Jack Caglione. I know a lot of people are high on him. So this is just giving me like ideas of who to buy, especially who to buy. Great. Luz Angela Acuna, Jackson Churio. What are Jackson Churio's stats this year? I'm curious. I actually don't know off the top of my head. Jackson Churio. Yeah, so he's not having a good year. Jackson Churio. So, he's hitting 258. So since he's hitting 258, what if if we look at his Bowman Chrome, look at his PSA 10. It's not really down much. Yeah, I like to buy guys that are down in value. Jackson Merrill. Let's see what Jackson Merrill's stats are this year. He's having a really good year. He's hitting 330. He's a baller. Ethan Salas, Colt Emerson. This gives me ideas of guys who to buy. Jason Dominguez. Is he? Let me see something. Jason Dominguez. I know he was injured. Yeah, so he's not my boy's not having a good year. So like someone like Jason Dominguez, it might take a little bit more time for his value to go down. People are so invested in him, and people will inflate his stock. Unfortunately, people will do that. You can see the last sale is down, but this is how I look for guys to buy. Also, another guy that's really good to buy. Check this out. One of my coaches brought this to my attention. So if you look at Otani is just like the man since his stuff sells for so much money. You could just look at 2024 Otani cards and they sell for bang. So if you go to advanced and you go to minimum price, call it $100, and you do let's look at auctions, mid bid count 1. So these cards you can make a shit ton of money on. So tops all right, so check this out. Tops 50/50 orange refractor. Okay. So if you look at tops chrome 50/50 orange Otani. So there's a bunch of different ones, but if you look at PSA 10s, so this card, his orange sells for, there's a sale 576 is a 10. His tops chrome. And this is a very similar card to all of these. They all kind of sell for the same. There's a bunch of different variations, or most of them should sell for the same. So, you could buy this card for 200, 150, 250, and PSA 10s you're making really good money on. So a card like this, if you look at the condition, yeah, it seems to be in pretty good condition. And if you look at his other cards, he doesn't grade cards. And let's see what this card sells for. Let's see if I can find an exact variation. So this is him kind of standing up as he's hitting a home run, sort of. So I wonder if that variation has a name. They're kind of standing up. That's a similar card, but not the same one. I'll bid I'll throw in a bid here at 160, 170. Like a PSA 10, I'm pretty confident would get over $500. Let's take a look here. Copy, paste, just up to 162. Throw it in right there. Cool. I might win that card. This is another one. All these Otani cards are sell for bank. I wouldn't bid on this one. I don't like to bid on cards via consignment. This is being sold via consignment shop. You know that because he has a million feedback, and also Probstein is a very big consignment in the sports card world. Yeah, all this Otani stuff sells for well. Yeah, but let's answer some other questions. This is a light call. Usually there's more callers. So let's see. Tampa Home Investors. I collect cards from the 90s. When it comes to PSA 10 pop ones, do you have a general multiplier? I know it depends on the card. I mean, no. It could be 3 to 10 times to 20 times, depending on it just depends on so many different things. How do you check gem rates on market movers? So on market movers, you could you? I don't think you could, but hold on. Let's see. You might. I don't think you could. So if we just type in like a random card here, like, oh, whoops. Let's type in like, I don't know, Bowman Chrome, Ronald Acuna, Auto 2017, PSA 10. So I don't know. Let's do this card. You can see the pop. You can see the pop report is 3. There's only 3 PSA 10s in this card. Wow. Last one hasn't sold for a while. But yeah, you can see the pop report, but gem rates, you can't. You have to go to the PSA website, and it's got a little funky, but you'll figure it out. Just go to PSA population report, and you can see how many total cards have been graded. But if you want to get a general idea, just with doing it on market movers, this is like more of a rare card. But like, let's say I'm looking for like Jaden Daniel cards, right? And I want to see the gem rate on a Jaden Daniels Prism Silver PSA 10. So what I would do is I would look at the Prism PSA 10. There's 233. That sounds high. That sounds high. But anyways, so yeah, there's that many. I guess so. So there's 233 PSA 10s, right? How many 9s are there? 726. So hold on, I'll just break this open. This is like a quicker way to do it because the PSA website is still like wonky, at least with the population report. So like Jaden Daniels, Silver, Prism, PSA 10. Make this a little bigger. So there's, I think, PSA 10s, right? There's 223. PSA 9s. There are 726. And then you can look at PSA 8s. PSA 8s, there's 735. PSA 8s, 735. If there's any PSA 7s, probably not a lot. 166. So this will give you a pretty general idea. So if you add these up, right? So if you do 223 plus 726 plus 735 plus 166. There's been a total of 1850 that have been graded. And if you divide that by 223 divided by 1850, 12%. So 12% of cards sent in get a 10, just about. Unless there's some like PSA 5s that I'm not seeing. But yeah, so this is the way to get a gem rate. But if you're like this card, like you could buy for like $200 and a 10 is 1,000. And if you could grade them a 10, if you know what you're doing, you could get them at a 10 about like 25, 30, 35% of the time. You can make some pretty good money. So yeah, hopefully that's how I would do it on market movers, or you could just use the PSA population report. Let's see. I bought a PSA 10 red Pandora Marvin Harrison Jr. for $80. Is that a good buy? That's not something I would buy. I can't see it going up in value. Usually receivers don't go up much. I would buy that card raw to get graded. Let's see. Hey Eric, quick question for you. I have 3 upper deck Michael Jordan variation All-Star number to 2002 cards. Are they worth getting graded? Yeah, any of that stuff is worth getting graded. It's just a matter of, is it in good condition? All of that stuff, like any Jordan card from like the 90s or 2000s, really is worth getting graded. But you have to look. One, is it in good condition? So like my rule for that stuff, one, is it in good condition? And when I say good condition, I mean I think the card can get a PSA 10. If I think he can get a 9, I'm not sending in for grading. So I'm sending it in, hoping it gets a 10, but expecting it to get a PSA 9. And if it sells for at least $40 as a PSA 9, then I would then I send it in. So just to show you an example. So I think I'm not sure exactly what card you're talking about, because it's pretty broad, but you said 2002 All-Star Michael Jordan. Is that a card? Is that a card? Talking about this hoops. I think you're talking about this. I guess this card, this Upper Deck All-Star Game Jordan card. But yeah, so you can see a PSA 9 of this card is like 173. So yeah, I'm sending this card in for sure. And a PSA 10 of this card, you could look. So this is a 2002. So 2002 Upper Deck Jordan. What is it? Jordan All Stars. Yeah, I can't even find it on Market Movers. But if you're talking about this card, yes, I am sending that card in to get graded if it is in 10 condition. Or I think it's in 10 condition, but I'm expecting it to get a 9. Let's see what else we got. What other questions do we have? So when I'm looking at pops on a card, what is a good number to check the box? This is it. What? When I'm looking at pops on a card, is it a good number to check the box? This is a good card versus super bad number, like probably should avoid. That's barely English. But I think what you're trying to say is if a card is hard to grade, is it worth sending in for grading? Yeah. So it's just like a pendulum. The harder a card is to grade, the more money you make if it's a 10. The easier it is to grade, the less money you make it to get a 10. So that's all that means. But I like to grade the harder stuff because I believe in my ability to grade cards. So I think that's what you're asking, but I'm not totally sure. When buying cards to grade, how much are you willing to spend over market to win on a gradable copy? 10%, usually. 10% is standard value. Walter, I have a lot of Kobe's. Do you think it's worth to send it into PSA or send it into another grading company? So I would apply that rule that I just said. If you think you can get a 10, and it's worth at least $40 to the 9, send it in. But yeah, PSA to make your life simple. Send it into PSA. Dakota, I have 12 cards on the way back from PSA, all back from PSA, all football. Do I hold until training camp or start a season, sell now? So probably it depends, but the answer is almost always just sell now. Especially if you're newer into sports cards or they're cheaper cards. Usually like those cards don't appreciate too much. And also if you're newer into sports cards, you just want to hit the ground running, start making money, start getting the cash flow going. That's what I tell people. Even if you have all the money in the world and you could afford to hold the cards you could keep buying cards, you still want to keep sending them in. Just sell them in the beginning. Get it going. Prove to yourself that this works. I just hit a Jesus made. I don't know who that is. Numbered refractor. Do you think it's worth grading? Jesus, it's the same question over and over again, but it depends on the condition. I have no idea. I can't know if it's worth sending in for grading without seeing it. So, but if the card's in good condition and you're going to at least double your money as a 10. That's my standard rule. Can I at least double my money? Then yes, I'd send it in for grading. I recently got a Kevin Garnett high voltage PSA 10, but can't find any recent comps. I'm not sure what card that is, but I can look for you. So high voltage Kevin Garnett from 19. I assume you're talking about this card. I think so. From 1997. That's impressive. If you got a PSA 10 on this card. Is it the one numbered? Is it this base one, or is it this one number to looks like there's one number to 500? I'm not familiar with the card, but if it's this card, caller, I'll let it rip. Hey, you got Eric. You're live.
No worries. Hey, yeah, I was just calling in just to ask.
Yeah, go for it.
If the Gridiron Marvels series is like cards that you should be looking for a raw to send in to get graded.
This is football, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look. So I'll share. Not something I would buy, but let's take a look. So, Donruss Gridiron Marvels. When did these cards come out?
I would say in like the last year or two. Let me just pull them up.
Or like this year's cards. Like I see like there's Malik Neighbors,
Yeah.
Roma Dunze. Or I could probably look too. So like Marvels, Malik Neighbors. Let's just see. Oh.
Yeah, 24 Donruss Gridiron Marvels. I just started seeing a lot of raws on eBay and just figured that might be something that's kind of competitive to like a downtown or uptown. They're kind of more rare.
Okay, so it looks like these cards came out in February-ish. But let's see. So what I would do. So this is actually like a little hack to like know what cards are worth getting graded. So I like if my rule for grading cards is, can I double my money? Have you heard me say that before?
Yeah.
So like bottom line, can I double my money, right? And I have no idea with these cards, but what you could do is pull up 2 tabs. So what you could do is type in on eBay Gridiron Marvels
Mhm.
Football PSA 10, right? And it's gonna give you all these cards, and then pull up another tab to see the raws of a card. So let me explain. So
Yep.
let's find one. So I want to find like a cheaper card. Like not, I see like there's a gold Bo Nix that sells for $4,000. You're probably not gonna be buying those cards, but like, okay, so there's a clearly Donruss Bryce Young from 2023 Marvels. And this auctioned at $355. And I like to use auctions are the truest indicator of a card's value. I try to avoid best offers when I'm looking at values because you don't know what the
Mhm.
hell people, most people don't know what they're doing and they'll offer more than a card's worth. So what I'll do is type in clearly Donruss, Bryce Young, Marvels to see what this card sells for raw. So raw, the card is like 200, 180. So, and PSA 10's 350. So that's telling me no. But let's see if we can find someone from this year, like Jaden Daniels or something. Let's see if we can find any Jaden Daniels.
For
So,
instance, I put in like an auction bid for a Drake May, and then I kept searching for other Drake Mays, and there were no other Mays popping up. And that was something where I figured, okay, like there's no comps out there to then send it graded. And then when I go on PSA, there's only 3 PSAs of card graded and only 2 9s and 1 10, which makes me think, okay, and then you have no PSA value out there.
yeah,
So it's kind of like almost like you like set the price on the market.
yeah. So, hold on. I'm just analyzing this for you. This is a weird question you got here. I'm trying to give you a straight answer, yes or no. So, okay, so clearly Donruss. So okay, looks like there's a difference between clearly Donruss and Donruss.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that throws me for a loop because there's just a Donruss and then the clearly version.
Okay, so
In my personal opinion, from like a fandom, like the just looks a little bit less.
yeah, the clearly is gonna
valuable.
be slightly less liquid. So the clearly, there's your
Mhm.
answer. I'll probably not buy it for grading, but like, okay, I see there's a green or there's like a Devonta Smith PSA 10 from 2021. Oh, so they've been running these cards for a while. Devonta Smith Marvels. Let's see. A PSA 9 does like 250 and a 10 does like 370 of Devonta Smith, but he's not a quarterback, so it's not giving a real answer here.
Yeah,
Let me look here.
because like I see even like Michael going for 5, 7, even up to like 1,000, even for some raws.
Yeah. So I know your whole theory of trying to set the market. So a PSA 9 of Jaden Daniels. Okay. All right. So this is what I would do. You want to know what I would do? This is my answer to you. So, okay, hold on. Let me stop sharing my screen. All right. So do you like buy and sell sports cards currently?
Yeah.
And you send them in for grading and like to make money, etc.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And
Flip it.
what's most of the stuff you send in for grading? Like Prism and Optic and that fun stuff?
Mostly. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I would do. So there's a saying, not a saying in like business. This applies to sports cards and anything really in business. So right, more, better, new. Okay. You know who Alex Hormozy is?
I do not.
He's like a famous business guy who has this saying. Okay, so like 80% of what you do should just be more. Okay. So Prism and Optic and all that shit that you know that works, just keep buying more of it. Right? 10% is better. So when I say better, maybe buying that stuff, but different like products, or like different players, or like trying to make it better somehow, or like maybe selling on different platforms, like maybe trying to buy at card shows, and then new. So 10% of what you do should be new. So new would be like buying a new product, like that Marvel stuff. Honestly, I don't know. I think you will double your money, honestly, or over double your money with the quarterbacks. But I would make like 10% of your portfolio like new, like risky stuff. Like keep 80% of it currently what you're doing, but take 10% of your money and put it into that stuff. And if you start to make a lot of money, you could add it to your portfolio of buying cards. So that'd be my answer. I would tread lightly, but I would throw it into like 10% of my buys or 10% of the money I spend.
Right. Okay. Because that was kind of like where my head's at, of just, stick with what works, stay consistent with that. But I mean, at least try to mix it up a little bit and, go and take some risks on things that, like, for instance, like that Drake May that I found, I was like, that was the only one out there. I kept searching that version on eBay, and I was like, I think I just bought the only, Marvel's Drake May on eBay. And then when I tried to look at PSA and all these other ones, they just weren't popping up. Where I was like, okay, this might be a risk worth taking.
What was it? Marvel's? What'd you pay for it?
500.
Okay. So honestly, what I would do. Okay, so I'm looking here. Okay. This is weird, man. This is a weird card you got. Jeez.
Yeah, this is why I called it. I was like, I want to pick your brain on this.
So this is it makes no sense. So like I see a raw for 500 and a PSA 10 of I don't know if it's the same Drake May, but it's a similar one. A PSA 10 at 650. So, but that's just strange. Okay, so this is what I would do with that card. I would actually give you. I'll one up what I just said. So because it's a weird card and there's not many sales of them, I would try to buy them off of eBay. So you could really hit someone over the head when you try to sell it as a PSA 10 because they won't know what it's worth. So, like my gut after seeing what I just saw, maybe you're not going to double your money because if you just think about it logically, when you buy a card and get it graded and sell it, you are you're selling it to a collector, right? If you get a PSA 10 of a Drake May, right, you're just probably selling it to someone who believes in Drake May, wants to collect Drake May, etc. And that card, it just tells me, seeing that PSA 10 sale, that collectors of Drake May don't want that, don't prefer that stuff. So,
gotcha.
but you could, like, it's a weird card. Like, you could over double your money. Like, like rare cards, you don't know what you're gonna get out of it. Like the most money I ever made on a card, not the most money, but like the biggest multiplier I ever made on a card was this weird. This was like in the pandemic too, so like it was different. But this weird black and gold Prism Trae Young signatures autograph. I paid $2,000 for it as a Beckett 9, and there were like no sales. There were no sales. I bought it off of eBay, so nobody could see what I paid. And like, I was just like looking at other guys. Like Trae Young was like the shit at the time. I know he's not the shit anymore, but he was like the shit at the time.
Yeah.
Like him, Luka, and I was looking at like Luka sales, kind of comparing them, like some other guys like Zion. I was like, okay, like I think this has some potential. I got a 10, and I sold it trade/sale. I was like half cash and half trade for $22,000. So just because I ran into a Trae Young collector that really wanted it for God knows what reason.
Yep.
So, you just don't know with that stuff. My gut thinks is probably like if you're gonna. So, if I was gonna do new stuff, like take risks, probably wouldn't buy that product. What I would do if you wanted to take risks with your money is buy like rare cards where there's no comps. So spend more on, obviously, I don't know what your budget is, but like I'd rather buy like a Prism or Optic or Donruss card, something that that sells, but like a $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 card where like no one really knows what it's worth. Like you think but like there's no comps, and take a swing there instead of like buying a new product. Because like collectors are kind of set in their ways with the types of products they want, as you probably kind of know. So that'd be my advice after seeing what I just saw. But you can still make money on it. Like it's not like a bad purchase.
Awesome. Much appreciated for taking my call.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Good luck. Hopefully you quadruple your money.
We'll see. I'll update you.
Yeah. Let me know. Yeah, call back in. Let me know how it goes. I'm curious.
You got it.
All
Thanks,
right,
man.
cool. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Is there another one? The callers are light. The last time the queue was going crazy. Well, let's see if we got any other questions, or we're good on the questions. Is Tyler Black a good pickup? I don't know who that is, so probably not. You mentioned all the time population reports. I'm trying to ask what I'm looking for. Like if there's more than 50 in a pop, is that good? If there's more than 1,000 a pop, do I avoid? Is it okay? So it doesn't matter. Like when I'm buying a card to get it graded, I just care, can I over double my money? The population report, that just tells me how hard the card is to grade. If there's 1,000 cards graded and only 100 are a PSA 10, okay, the card's pretty hard to grade. If there's 1,000 graded and there's 500 PSA 10s, okay, that card is not as hard to grade. So that's all population report tells me, which is like, who cares about the population report? You care about making money. I care about making money. So just look on eBay's recent sales or 130 points to see what the card actually sells for. That's all that matters. The population report, you don't even need to look at it, to be honest with you. I do. But yeah. And then I was in the middle of answering a question about the high voltage Kevin Garnett. Don't worry, I didn't forget you. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was looking at high voltage caller. Oh shit. Okay. All right, go for an answer. I'll go back to the Garnett. You got Eric. You're live.
Hey,
Hey, what's up? What's your name?
Jackson.
Jackson. What's up, dude? How can I make your life better?
Yeah, I just had like questions I wanted to ask.
Yeah.
What do you think about Wemby right now? Do you
Oh.
think he's a good buy?
So what I would do with Wemby, to give you a straight answer. So me personally, if I'm buying a card of his like a card already graded a PSA 10, what I'm doing is I'm buying probably something that's colored and probably something that's like a few $1,000s or more, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So something that's like rare. There's not a lot of sales of it. I actually have one card of Wemby behind me. It's like a blue, yellow, green. It was like $1,100. Or no, it was $950 at that. No, $875 I paid. So I'm only buying colored Wemby if it's already graded, not like base prism or silver prism. Or I'm buying cards to get graded. I think Wemby's a great buy to get graded. Like buying cards raw now to get them graded and get them back in a few months. I think it's a fucking great idea. Like rookie stuff from 2023.
Okay.
A lot of his stuff has been graded, so it's kind of hard, but I love him as a buy to get graded. So
All right.
my answer to you is yes, he's a good buy, and that's what I would do.
Yeah, and then what do you think about Trevor Lawrence? I know you got Trevor in the draft, but I don't know. Like, do you think he's a good to buy and grade?
Man, I lost money on Trevor Lawrence last year, so I'm still butthurt about that. But let's look. Let's look at his silver prism. See, he doesn't have a lot of silver prism PSA 10s because 2021 prism was so hard to grade. Let's see. It's up. Oh, it's up. Let's see. What kind of stuff are you thinking about buying?
Mostly just like the silvers, stuff like that. Discos, red, white, and blues.
Let's see. Discos. That's a good. Let's see. Like already graded or two grade? Two grade is gonna be kind of hard.
Probably 2 grade, which yeah, I mean it'd be hard, but
Yeah. Let's see. So his disco itself like $100. Yeah, I actually like. I think he's a decent buy. If you could find stuff to get graded, yeah. Because if he starts playing well in the preseason, I think his value could shoot up. And this stuff is so low. Like this stuff is so low. Like I just don't see. Like there's just not a lot of downside in my opinion. Like especially if you plan on selling it before the season, which I hope you are. Like this like red, white, and blue Prism PSA 10 is like $99. Like I just can't see it going down much. And I think it's low risk, high reward. So yeah, I actually do think Trevor Lawrence is a pretty decent buy. I haven't bought any of him. Last year I had like actually a lot of money invested in like over 20,000, and I was into the cards for really cheap from like a card that I made a lot of money on. I traded him, etc. And I held the Trevor Lawrence cards because I thought they were going to go up in value, but I actually lost like a few grand on them. So, but I actually think because now he's so cheap, yeah, I think he is a decent buy. If he starts making good throws to Travis Hunter in the preseason, I think it's a good idea. So yes.
All right.
Answer your
and
question.
Then I got one more question.
Yeah, go for it.
So do you think it'd be better to like take risks with like older cards to grade, like just say like a LeBron rookie card, or do you think it's like with better margins, or do you think it's better to like buy newer cards like the modern stuff, 2024, with like lower margins?
Newer.
All
Yeah.
right.
So I just got done. A guy kind of asked me a similar question before you, about like, so more, better, new. So I would take like 10% of your money and put it into like that older LeBron stuff or older vintage cards with those high multipliers and see what happens. And if you start doing well, do more of it, obviously. But I wouldn't go all in. I would like diversify a little bit. Just throw some money at it, see what happens, see if it works for you. If it works, shit, keep doing it. But that's what I would do with like that
All
older
right.
stuff.
All right. Thanks. That's I think that's all the questions I have.
Cool, no problem. Yeah, good luck out there. If anything else, just let me know.
All right.
Cool. Have a good one. All right. Back to the high voltage Kevin Garnett. So let's see if there's any PSA 10s. What was the question? Do you remember the question on the Kevin Garnett? Oh, you can't find comps. So it looks like, whoops. So it looks like there's two types of high voltage Garnett cards. There's a base one. So a PSA, this is the base. A Beckett 9.5 is like 100. A PSA 10 is probably 200 to 250. And this PSA 10 is probably worth like 2,500. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, go. You got Eric, you're live.
Hey, Eric, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's very noisy. Can you lower the noise in the back?
Yes. Hang on, I'm at work. Let me try walking out here for a second.
Yeah, if you could, thank you.
Hello?
Yep. What's up? I hear you.
Hey, I just wanted to call and tell you thank you. I've been following your advice on just grading different cards, kind of new to it. But I'm 3 out of 4 on getting the 10s. And my next question,
Oh, nice.
what do you do with them?
Good question. Wait, what's your name?
Levi Fletcher.
What's your you've just been watching the content, right? You're not in the program, right?
No, just YouTube. Listen to you at work when you're live.
Cool. Where are you calling from?
About an hour and a half south of Indianapolis.
Okay. Are you a Pacers fan?
More college basketball, but the city's alive right now, so I'll follow suit with it.
Yeah, I'm a Knicks fan. That was very painful for me. But
Okay.
what's your goal? Is your goal to make like a few grand a month, quit your job? What's your goal?
It was just for my son one day to have a bunch of cards, but some of them are pretty valuable, I found out, so I figured I could flip them to get more.
What cards did you grade a 10? What'd you buy?
Jaden Daniels Silver Prism.
Oh, shit.
Jameer Gibbs Select Tie-Dye, a Bo Nix Optic Silver, and a... go ahead.
No, keep going. Sorry.
And the 9 was a Josh Downs Prism.
Okay, well, do you want me to comp them for you and tell you what each one is worth, number one, and then number two, where I would sell them?
Yeah, that would be awesome. I can't find nothing on the Gibbs.
Okay, all right, I'll help you out. Okay, so the Jaden Daniels is pretty simple. What'd you pay for it?
I pulled it out of a blaster. I pulled everything I have.
Oh, well, it's better to be lucky than good, right? So the Jaden Daniels is worth about like $1,300, and then the Jameer Gibbs, what? Jameer.
It was a Select Certified Tie-Dye.
Select.
That was it had a pop 2 count.
Yeah, it's probably, this is a guesstimate here, around $200.
Okay.
And then what was the other one?
Bo Nix Optic Preview Gym 10.
What color? Or what was the variation?
It was just Optic Preview. It come out of a Don Russ blaster.
Well, what does the card look like? What's the color of it? Is it red and green?
It's just a silver hollow.
Oh, it's a hollow. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so that's like $200.
Okay, cool.
And then the last one that got a 9.
Yeah, the Josh Downs. I know I lost on that one. I'm just a Colts fan.
Okay. Yeah. So where I would sell that stuff. So your goal. So you said your goal is to make like a few grand a month, right?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah. So what I would do is either A, card show, or B, Facebook group, and I would sell them for like 90 to 95% of the value that I just said. So like I would go on Facebook groups and post the Jaden Daniels, for example, at like $11.75 net. Why I'm doing that? Number one, you don't have to pay any fees. You'll make more than enough money. And number two, you want to use it and build connections. So when you get more cards in the future, you could get people's phone numbers, get people's Facebook, and just easily sell them to them, and they'll just pay you Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, just without fees. So I try to avoid eBay when selling. I like to buy on eBay. like to avoid selling on eBay. So that's what I would do.
Okay.
Card show is even better for building connections. Obviously I don't know, what your time's like, but there are card shows in the Indianapolis area. I do know that. So that is what I would do. Post them for slightly under comps. And you want to be that guy. You want to be that guy that everyone wants to do deals with because you're always fair. Everyone tries to bend
Right.
everyone over backwards, for,
Like, risk it to get them to come back for more. Makes sense.
Yep. Because the name of the game is, you want to be in this for the long term, not just make a quick dime and, piss people off. So
one more quick question and I'll let you get back to your day. When should I dump those?
Oh, I do it now. I would do it now. Get the cash and buy more. I wouldn't buy more blaster packs. I'd buy singles on eBay and flip them that way.
Right. Well, yeah. I just I pick one up every Friday or something, and I just been getting lucky.
That's fair. I've been doing my last YouTube video, or the one before this, was me buying a bunch of blasters. I got no luck. No luck. Just
see, I'm like that with mega boxes. I don't do megas anymore.
Yeah. I bought a bunch of I put like $200 into a bunch of blasters. Maybe got like $60 back in value, $50.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I buy maybe 2 at a time on a good day.
Oh, I gotta take advice from you on what packs to buy then.
I'm just small time and get lucky. That's not all there is to it. I've been burnt more than once on them. So
yeah.
But thank you very much, and you have a nice day, sir.
Yeah, no problem. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
All right, bye. No more? Cool. Well, we'll leave it off with that. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see all you guys in the next one.